Okay, that was probably the best episode of the series so far. I completely loved it. Thought it was great. I did have a little bit of worry about it. I was afraid they'd rush it or do whatever, but they didn't. It was great. Kind of starts off slow and pick up the pace, and I think they did it in such a way that the whole thing went off really well for me. I said this in my first video, but especially with the finale, I really need to restate it. There will be spoilers here, so let's go. First of all, I did look it up, and we are having a second season. I don't know when that's going to come out, but they have been given the green light for second season, so that's great. Especially after the ending of this one. Jeez, but I'll get to that later. Now, one of the things that they have been doing, and I thought they did really well with this, was the whole mysterious, is Romero the sheriff? Is he a good guy? Or is he a bad guy? And note that I'll be jumping around in parts in this, because I'm doing like each character, each thing, and sometimes I'll go to the end and I'll go back to the beginning, so let's go. Throughout the whole season, you can't really tell. Sometimes you think he might be in on everything, and then he turns out he might be a good guy. When he found the money, I started getting suspicious again. I wasn't convinced, but I started getting suspicious again. Because he went straight to the money, which I'm guessing it was at Summer's house, because his sister came up and started talking and all that. Could have been Shelby's, since Shelby was the one that owed the money. But I'm really thinking it was Summer's house. But anyway, he didn't look around this cabinet. Oh, look around this drawer. He went straight to the money, knew exactly where it was. Of course, that was because he was investigating Shelby and all that. And at the end, I was really wondering. I was on the edge of my seat during the whole end thing with everything. But with Abernathy and Romero, of course, Romero was talking about, you need to get with me if you're going to run anything in my town. And I was wondering, is this going to be a trick or is this for real? Of course, it was a trick, but I thought that was extremely well done. I thought it was great, and I really loved it. Because he tricks Abernathy, who's shown himself to be pretty smart this whole time, into thinking that Romero's on his side, on the bad guy's side, when really Romero, at least we think so far, is a good guy, and I really don't see that changing. Abernathy bends down, he gets shot, and falls into the water. Of course, we can't be 100% sure that Abernathy's dead. We'll have to see what comes of that. Maybe, he may not be. Personally, even though I did like the character, I don't really care which way it is. If he comes back, great. If not, oh well, whatever. Now let me jump into Norma's parents. I thought this was a really good thing to add to the series. Maybe a little late, but if it had been earlier or too much earlier, it had been way too early, and I thought it was a pretty good point to put it in. When she was talking to the psychiatrist, I knew she was lying about her parents. Said her dad, was the guy that always smiled, and her mother smelled like cookies or something like that. And that is just the most cliche, good description of parents. And I knew she was lying. I had a suspicion she was lying, and I knew it. And I really love when she opened up to Norman. Because one of the things they do well, and I'll get into more of this with another aspect later, is the relationships between the characters. That's one of the strongest points of the show, at least for me. She admits that her brother sexually assaulted her all the time. Her dad was violent, and her mom was either on drugs or something, she just wasn't there, and all that. Now, this is just my theory. You guys take it for what you will. But I'm thinking the whole sexual assault and the brother and the weirdness and all that, especially the brother, maybe the father and the mother, but especially the brother, I believe that's one of the biggest reasons that Norma is so weirdly close to Norman, which I've been describing all the stuff that she does that's really weird in my past review, so look at that if you really want to get into it. But that's my theory, so take it as you will. Now, the teacher, oh jeez. I have loved the teacher this whole time. And, whoa. Jeez, if you've seen the episode, you know what's fucking coming. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I've loved her character all the time, and I knew that she was trying to seduce Norman and get with him, and she did little by little, till worked up, and she really got a hold of him. And I thought that was really good to me. She just come up, put her leg up on the table and did all some sort of stupid porn move or some shit like that. I would have been really disappointed and not have liked the character. Now, I'm not going to talk too much more about the end until the end of this review. So, next point. One of the things I was talking about, the relationships. Norma and Dylan. Of course, we know at first they were strained. He hated her. She was upset with him. And little by little, like your teacher, and this is another good thing, they don't rush things, to do it little by little, which makes it more believable. He helps her, he finally decides to get her a gun and helps her, and calls her mom, which she points, Nick Etchison points out. That means they're getting really close. They still bicker at times a little bit, but it's not like it used to be. And as I've said before, I didn't like Dylan at first, now I really like him. So there's that. That's one of the strong points about the show. Okay, now Bradley didn't die. I know we were all expecting her to die this season. Or, well, at least we were expecting her to die. I think probably most people thought she would this season. I still think she has it coming up because of the dream where Norman drowned her. And shit is building up between everything. Especially with Norman and Bradley and Dylan, that whole triangle. Because, now I don't know if Bradley, part of the reason Bradley is getting with Dylan is to get back at Norman for spilling the beans about everything. It may be, maybe that's part of it. I think she really does like Dylan in a way, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Of course, Norman still has feelings for Bradley. He displays it throughout the episode. The way he reacts when she comes to the door, the way he reacts to the dance, which splits him and Emma up, which has been happening a lot. And I'm really hoping to keep Emma. They should. She's the main character. But that tension was there, and Emma's now pissed off at Norman, and that's really going to come in strong in the second season, I believe. But anyway, back to my point. Norman is pissed off now at both of them, both Dylan and Bradley. He's been pissed off at Bradley for a while. He still cares about her. He still has feelings for her, but he's pissed off. Now, throughout the season, Norman and Dylan, their relationship has gotten stronger. But now I really think that it's going to cause conflict. And I'm not even going to hazard to guess what's going to happen. I'm just going to lay back, wait, and see what it does. Now, this doesn't really have anything to do with the show itself. It's just a shout out to another fandom. If you get it, great. If you don't, whatever. Norman wears bow ties now. Bow ties are cool. Okay, one last point before I get to the ending. Bradley's boyfriend. I don't care much for him. I don't even remember his name. It's Ryan or some shit like that. I'm hoping they either don't bring him back again, put him in very little, or bring him back, but kill him off. He's a Twilight-looking motherfucker, and I can't stand him. I swear, I hope he gets killed off. Okay. The ending. Who saw that coming? The teacher was the last freaking person I would expect to get killed. Bradley? Of course. Emma? Yes. The teacher? Not so much. We knew she was getting close to Norman and everything, but I totally didn't see that coming. And as much as I love her character, and I'm going to miss her in the second season, unless they do something to bring her back, like, hey, maybe Norman will see her. like he sees his mom, maybe he starts seeing her, in his head, and she'll be talking to him, and that would be a really good way to keep her in the show, even though she's dead, and I hope they do that. But even if they don't, even if they lose this character, which I really love, I still love that ending. It's so great. Last thing, small nitpick. The only problem I have with this episode was when Bradley's boyfriend and Norman were talking. The rain was so loud and the dialogue was quiet. I made out most what they said. It was kind of hard to. But that great episode. I am super psyched about the second season. And guys, I will pick up my reviews back up when that comes. As for the reviews, I guess I'm going to take a little break for now. It's been fun, but there's not really much for me to review right now until Wilfred comes out, which is the 10th of next month. So it's not going to be that long of a wait. Well, I hope you guys have loved this series. I hope you guys have liked my reviews. This is it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.